the country's most prestigious, the state-of-the-art Indira Gandhi International Airport saw a shocking, terrible incident today. The roof of the terminal of one of the airports collapsed. It led to the death of one person, it injured several others. The question that arises is, are our state-of-the-art structures so fragile that they cannot withstand a bout of heavy rain? It was not a typhoon or a tsunami that hit Delhi, that an entire structure of an airport of an international stature came crashing down. What would have happened if the rain had continued for a few more hours? And what will happen if the rains are as hard tomorrow or the day after and the day subsequently? What operations is the Delhi Airport Authority and the GMR running? How long will it take for the authorities to fix the structure now? And how long will it take for the terminal to start functioning again? What guarantee does the ministry give that these structures at the airport don't come crashing down on people and lead to more casualties? Add to that the paranoia amongst the passengers, and the next time around they have to arrive at the terminal to board a flight. And to top it off, look at the field day that the BBCs and the CNNs of the world are having at our expense. A country that cannot keep its state-of-the-art structures and infrastructure from crashing down because of a bout of rain, and it touts itself as the 5th largest economy of the world and dreams of becoming a $5 trillion economy. Let's start this conversation, but let's take a look at the havoc that was created after rain pounded Delhi and the infrastructure at the Delhi airport came crashing down. What a sorry state of affairs. I'm going to first bring to your notice this picture. And here it is, the Maruti Suzuki Dzire, which was a taxi that was being run by the taxi driver. And there's this iron pillar that has come crashing down on this taxi. Pillar number 2, pillar number 3, pillar number 1. These were the 3 beams that came crashing down, and it injured people. There were other cars that were also smashed, but unfortunately this particular car, where pillar number 1 crashed down on, had the driver and he was killed. And here's another picture of the taxi. And I want to show these pictures to get you in terms of the tragedy that has happened at the international airport, and you would not be able to understand it if you read about it, if you hear about it, but you have to actually witness this to see what actually happened. Do we have more pictures? There are some pictures and videos as well, and this is a little more clearer. Where you have the pillar number 1, and you can see this clearly, that this taxi has been crushed under the weight of the pillar that collapsed on it. There is another taxi over here, that's pillar number 3, that is collapsed on it. So there were 3 pillars in total. This is the facade. This is the entire fabric canopy that has come crashing down because the pillars could not sustain the canopy, that entire structure that came crashing down. The shield that had been put up, the canopy is what it's being told to us. Again, you take a look at the number of cars. This is car number 1 got damaged. This is car number 2 got damaged, but it unfortunately caused the death of this driver who was inside that car, who was parked over there while he had come to drop a passenger off at Terminal 1. This is the damaged car number 3. This is very clear as to the tragedy that has happened, and because of the callousness of these contractors and the builders of this terminal. Again, a better, clearer visual of how this pillar came crashing down and the car just completely collapsed under its weight. Unfortunately, this man has died. There has been a 20 lakh rupees compensation that has been given to the family members. But is the cost of life so cheap in the country, is the question. Now, there are a number of these videos that have also circulated on social media. People who were on the spot, they witnessed this first-hand accounts that they have provided on social media. And this is the video that shows the roof collapsing. And that's the beam. It's just in the process of being collapsed. And there you have it, the car completely crushed under its weight. this is the unfortunate incident. I'm going to have this discussion with my panelists over here, who I want to sincerely appeal to and try to even understand what has actually happened, because this is a travesty. And imagine if and like I said, I am reading these news reports. There are these full-frame visuals and videos that are being posted on international news channels, international digital platforms, and it's quite the mockery that they are making of the country as well. But let's start from the start, and Dikshu Kukureja on the telecast with me. Dikshu, what an unfortunate, shocking incident. It wasn't as if, there was a tsunami or there was a typhoon that hit Delhi. It was a 3-hour rain, and unusually heavier than it usually rains in Delhi. And you have a state-of-the-art structure come crashing down. I mean, what is the possibility of it? Nobody would have thought about it.
No, absolutely. And first and foremost, my heartfelt condolences to the family of the person who has passed away. And of course, there are more injured, like you said. And this is a very sad development. It really hurts me also to see what kind of an international image we are sending, because the government works so hard to give this positive image world over about how India is progressing, the fastest growing economy, etc., etc. And then these kind of images are a rude shock and become a laughing point for the world over, for the cynics sitting around the world to see what's happening in India. Now, I believe that, deeply involved in architecture and urban development and large-scale public buildings, the design of such buildings, I feel one of the things that really stands out and bothers me is that when you are talking about creating world-class infrastructure, large-scale public buildings like airports and railway stations and all these big convention centers, the sad part is that our method of selecting the right people, the right agencies, is antique. It's something which is not in sync with times anywhere in the world. We go with design companies, architects and engineers who are willing to quote the lowest money for their services. We look at construction companies as selected on an L1 basis, which means the one who quotes the lowest has the project. Now, how can you, and in which part of the world does it make sense to talk about creating such complex, such significant buildings for the country, for the city, and then going through these very antiquated and completely irrelevant systems? I mean, what we need to lay some importance, if not all, should be on quality of design professionals, quality of construction agencies. And unless we make that kind of a radical change, I think these will be scenarios we might see repeatedly. The second point is this whole principle of EPC designing, just might be sounding technical, but it's very important to understand for your viewers that of late in India on these large public projects, we started saying that, just design conceptually and the rest will be engineered and detailed designed by the construction agency itself. Now that, I think, is shooting in the mouth or shooting on our foot, because the design expertise should lie only with design professionals. How can you have a contractor whose important motive is to make money out of the project, maximum money, maximum profit? He's also engineering and detailing the project. And as they say, God lies in details. Unless you detail a project well, it can really fall apart, which is what probably these images are showing. And my last point to you, very important, is that, one is about building the infrastructure. The second equally important thing which we tend to miss out is maintaining it. How many times are these projects maintained, supervised, checked whether they are standing fine, or maybe the rainwater gutters which were there are getting clogged with dust and leaves, etc. So regular I'm saying one of the possibilities, but the important thing is regular maintenance of buildings is as important as creating new infrastructure.
Absolutely. But Dikshu, let's try to even get into the details. I mean, how could those beams have collapsed? Such a sturdy structure. There have been crores and crores of rupees that have been invested into building this state-of-the-art structure. Remember, it is one of the biggest international airports across the globe, not just in the country. And talking about this canopy just completely collapsing, and there you have it. Parallelly, there are more of these extensions that are being built of the airport. There are terminals, new terminals that are being opened up. The inaugurations are being made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And there you have, Terminal 1, that entire stretch from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2, that entire canopy has just completely collapsed. I mean, you have to take a look at those visuals. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe my eyes this happened.
No, I have seen those visuals. I'm equally shocked, distressed with the same. But like I said, unless one gets into a detailed investigation, I would not like to jump to any conclusion. I would even go as far as saying perhaps, and this is just perhaps, there could be connection or no connection between the fact that has the rains caused it or has it been any other reason. The fact of the matter is that when buildings are constructed, they have to be supervised well. You can't just design something, build it at a breakneck speed without going through the proper drill of checks and balances which need to happen in a project. So here, it's too early for me, even as an expert in design, to comment on what could have happened. But like I'm saying, you might be surprised with the final outcome of the investigation, that it could even be a minute detail in the project which has been a flaw, and that detail can sometimes trigger this kind of a enormous result where you see the columns collapsing or the beams kind of falling apart. So early to tell, but overall, the fact of the matter is that our processes need to be relooked. How are we going about creating this world-class infrastructure is as important as saying, let's just go and keep building X number of more airports or X kilometers per day of roads, etc., etc. We need a hard relook at how this infrastructure is actually getting created. And that's what is a matter of serious concern for me.
Okay. All right. I'm going to quickly put this image on our television screens, and this will give you a better perspective of what actually happened, where at the Delhi airport did this entire tragedy took place. And here's a look at this Google map of the Delhi airport, and you take a look at, this is Terminal 1 with the square red marking that outlines the Terminal 1, and this was inaugurated in 2009. And right adjacent to the Terminal 1, there is this canopy that has been built, and this canopy is from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2. That's the stretch in which this entire structure had been built, that has come crashing down. And right now the operations over there have been suspended. We were being told that after 2 p.m. There were a number of flights of Indigo Airlines that were being then shifted to the other terminals. I think operations have commenced from the other terminal. SpiceJet at this time has not announced any resumption of flights up until now. And here's a look on the upper side. If you take a look further north, is where this stretch, the terminal that has been constructed and then inaugurated in 2024, earlier this year. So that gives you an idea about the location of where exactly this unfortunate event took place. This incident has taken place. I'm going to bring in my politicians as well, because I want to get answers from them, answers that are being demanded of by the family members of this driver that has died, by the family members of the people who have gotten injured, and the citizens of the country, the residents of Delhi, who have to face encumbrances because of the structure collapsing, and the entire absurdity of the fact that an international airport, that too located in the national capital, has just collapsed. Let's start off with the BJP spokesperson, and joining me on the telecast, let me get you on the broadcast, sir. And here we have Harish Khurana. He's the BJP spokesperson. Harish Khurana ji, what do you have to say to this?
First of all, from my party side also, we pay a heartfelt condolences to the whole family, which the person who has died, to that family. We felt heartfelt condolences on that. What my thinking is, and what we are seeing from the whole scenario, is the clear-cut case of another corruption case. As you also told in your briefing also that
No,
this
no,
was being
but
made.
Harish Khurana ji, before you start pointing fingers at other political parties, and that's how this political circus plays on, when we all know that. And I don't want this to happen on my channel, at least. What I want is
I
accountability
am
from
just
the government
started.
of India, from the
This is
civil
your
aviation
channel. Your people are also seeing it. See,
ministry.
I've just started. I've just started
No,
in 10
no, no.
seconds.
What you've started off is said
Hear
that
me
this
out.
is
Hear me
because of
out.
the appalling corruption of the previous government
Yeah,
that was
what
running
is
the
that then?
affairs in 2009
What
of
is
the
that then?
airport, sir. What
What
I
is
want
that
to
then?
know is
Don't-
today the
not your-
government of India
No,
and the
no, no,
civil
no.
ministry is coming out and saying,
Ma'am,
we are
no.
sorry, this has
No.
happened under our
No.
management till the time that
No.
we had been running operations, the Airport Authority of India,
is
the
this-
Civil Aviation Ministry of the country,
आप
and,
बोलने
and
नहीं
at
देंगे
least
क्या
at
करें?
least come out and have the decency and the courtesy to
Don't
apologize
show
to
me
the
this.
public
Don't
of the
talk me like
country.
this. Decency. Don't talk me like this. Don't talk me like this.
Not
Show
talking to you
decency.
like this, sir, but
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying,
Don't show me decency.
are you
Hear me out.
are you to
Hear
be
me
held
out first.
accountable?
Keep on blaming me, BJP. You keep on. I'm seeing your agenda. What your agenda is?
I don't
You're not
have an
letting me
agenda.
speak.
I will shortly
letting me
have the
speak.
Congress spokesperson as well, and
You're
I'm
not
going
letting
to
me
ask
speak.
him the same questions,
You are not
because
letting me
here you
speak.
have Mallikarjun Kharge attacking
No,
the
you are not letting me
BJP,
speak.
then you have
No,
the
you
Civil
are not
Aviation
letting me
Minister
speak.
talking about how
You
this
are not
structure was
letting me
built in
speak.
2009,
What the-
and this is not the responsibility of the
You're
current
not
government.
letting me speak. You're not letting me speak.
Okay, go ahead, sir. But please don't tell me that I have an agenda against the BJP or the Congress or
Everybody
any
see,
political party.
I've just started. I've said only one sentence of corruption, and you're bashing onto me. What is this? What this shows? You're
Please go
asking
ahead,
me-
Harish Khurana.
No, I'll
Please
tell you what the
justify
truth is.
why
No,
has this
your
unfortunate
viewership-
incident that has taken place in Delhi.
Ma'am, hear me out first. Please, don't teach me at least what I have to say or what I have not to say.
Please go ahead.
I'm telling you the truth, what the actual truth is. Your viewers should know what the actual truth is. The truth is, this building, this whole structure has been made in 2009. Who is responsible? We should ask that. Ultimately, government is going to inquiry that, and nobody will be spared. Nobody will be spared. But if you say only government is responsible, I am saying corruption is responsible. Whoever has done the corruption, nobody will be spared. Nobody will be spared. But you are not letting me speak. Then what will this show? Ki you are setting an agenda. I am telling you the truth. कि 2009 ये तो फैक्ट है ना कि 2009 में ये बिल्डिंग बनी थी. Is the actual fact? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no.
पर इसको मेंटेन कौन कर रहा था बिल्डिंग को, सर?
Ma'am, excuse me. Who is the privatization or no? Is the GMR has made it? Yes or no? Tell the truth to the people also, na?
Yes,
What the
there
actual
is
truth
26% of the stake that is with the Airport Authority of India. There is certain percentage of the stake, the rest of it is with the GMR. GMR is today saying that it was outsourced to a construction agency.
Ma'am, you are telling me right now when I have pointed out, na? You have not told me in the story.
I'm saying that are you going to is the government of India, whether it was the BJP in 2009 or whether it was the Congress in 2009 or the BJP in 2024 going to wash your hands of it by saying that it was the construction agency in private hands that was given this job, and therefore the structure has collapsed. Joining me also on the telecast is Romesh Sabharwal. He is the Congress leader. I'll come back to you, sir. Romesh Sabharwal, how do you have to react to this? Why are you at this point of time? That is their political bickering that is taking place in the country in such a sad state of affairs that the Delhi national capital finds itself in.
अगर आप लोगों का एजेंडा चलना होता है ना, बस बुलाया.
Okay.
Romesh Sabharwal, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Romesh Sabharwal,
Yes,
what do you have to say on behalf of the Congress? And also particularly when a tragedy such as this has happened, you are, hell-bent on point scoring because of the political agendas you want to carry forward.
Regarding water, ma'am, we are talking?
I am talking about the airport structure that has collapsed today.
Okay, ma'am, that is a disaster, by the calamity, by the rain, water, it has come down. Whether we formed or whether they constructed, whether we constructed, we don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I say that for God's sake, we should not involve into the politics into that. If something has been done in hurry also, there's nothing wrong. Every political party tries to do things when the elections are at the peak, but we should take the remedies now. That is more important. आगे किसी को चोट ना लगे, आगे दोबारा नहीं होना चाहिए. The minister has went there. I came to know from the media. It's better that we should cooperate. The people of citizens of India are more important for us. We should not involve in
Ramesh ji,
politics.
you are saying this, and you have your AICC president who's come out and made this tweet saying that this is the responsibility and this is because of the BJP that is corrupt. And then BJP thereby saying that, the structure was built under the UPA in 2009. What is the point of this political one-upmanship game that you're playing?
Now,
Here on my channel, you are accepting, you are saying that the governments and the politicians and parties should cooperate.
No, we should not politicalize. It's a question of the life of the people, If we did some mistake, it's our fault. If the BJP has done some mistake, ultimately the contractor has made, The quality has to be checked by the GMR or the Airport Authority of India, who allotted the land and all that. We must see that it should not be done again. We must ensure that. And the proper compensation, I think the minister has given 20 lakh rupees to the dead boy, the boy who lost the life, and the injured person also, they are given the money, and we should not involve. I don't believe in that, man.
So, do you agree? Do you agree that Mallikarjun Kharge was wrong on his part to politicize this issue?
No, I will not. I can't say it. He's my president, because whatever he's saying, he's more wiser than me. I can't. This is my personal, because I just joined. I was told that it's about the water logging, so I am not prepared. I am not aware of the incident also.
You're not aware of this incident that has taken place, which has become national. It is not just national news, sir. It is now playing out internationally.
I just saw the glimpse of the media, ma'am. I just saw that there was a breaking news in the morning when I was doing some debate, And I am concerned, because, but we should try to see that it should not happen again with any political party, whosoever in power, Tomorrow we can be power.
Yeah,
but we should maintain the quality of the...
We'd always take a look back when an incident such as this takes place, and then we say that, this should not happen. There was that hoarding collapse that had taken place in Mumbai, and there were people who died over there as well. And we take a look back and say, these procedures were not followed. There were violations that are being made. There were no NOCs that had been cleared. Why always take a look back and see, oh my God, this happened and we should do better, and there should be accountability and there should be responsibility, and then more people died, and then the same thing is spoken by the politicians. Why are you being voted to power when you can't save lives of people?
Ma'am, accountability must be fixed in this case. I agree with you. The accountability must be fixed wherever we do a fault.
Okay.
The officers who are involved, the contractor who's involved, the organization which is involved, we must take action against them.
Okay. Anmol Power, who's the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, is also on the telecast with me. Anmol, a tragedy that has taken place in Delhi, a shocker of an incident. How do you view? And I would hope you don't give me an answer of a politician, but somebody who is a stakeholder of the people of Delhi. Anmol Power, please unmute yourself. Okay, we'll try to fix that. But Harish Khurana, would you like to respond to what Ramesh Sabharwal has said?
Of the day, what I said, and I want to, you have started saying it, you don't politicize the issue. I have a full right to answer what Congress spokesperson or Congress people were saying. I will only explain to your viewers also what the actual truth is. As far as government is concerned, they will take a strict action against anybody. I'm quoting it, anybody who is culprit on this, will take a strict action against this. I'm telling you very, very confidently about that. Point number one. Point number two, but we should know what the actual fact is. 2009, It has been inaugurated in 2009, and before that, 4 years, it took all the construction time. So around 2005, say, construction has been happening now. This is an unfortunate incident. That's a fact. That's a fact. If you see, inquiry to hogi na, and the fact will be coming also over there. But when you are saying this, because government is also a stakeholder, we should understand that's also a fact that 76% of the stake is through a private company, and they have outsourced that. We will take a strict action against it. We are very sorry for that. But pointing only that only government is responsible, I'll not take it.
Dikshu Kukreja, you've heard it from our politicians. Who's going to take responsibility? Who's going to take accountability of this unfortunate incident that has taken place? Well, it doesn't look like a politician's will. There is going to be an inquiry. Like I said, there have been incidents that have taken place in the past as well. That hoarding that fell down on a number of people in Mumbai. People died. The cost of life in our country is so low.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and I was just going to say this, that the fact of the matter remains that the cost of human life in our country is really, really not of any value at all. And these are matters which grab attention for a couple of days till, there's a new news and we move on. And this has continued to happen, and I don't know for how long this will continue. But coming back to this specific case, I hope it is an eye-opener for us to realize that we really need to, if we are talking, and I say if we talk about world-class infrastructure, then we need to understand the complete cycle of how that world-class infrastructure is created, right from sourcing of how you bring the teams together, whether it's the design, execution, supervision, etc., agencies, to the fact that how this kind of infrastructure has due diligence of checking and verification, that it's passing all the safety design parameters, to the fact that once it's created, it requires, as seriously as it was when it was created, a due diligence on an annual basis or on a regular basis, maintenance of these buildings.
Yeah.
Let's remember.
But Dikshu, you know what the politicians are saying, we are going to hold the person accountable, we are going to hold the agency accountable, there is going to be due diligence, there is going to be inquiry. But at the end of the day, it is not the government at fault. Only 26% of the stake is with the Airport Authority of India. When we take a look at these bridges and overbridges that fall at Elphinstone railway station, this was in Mumbai, that had taken place a few years ago, and it keeps happening systematically. Government says we are not responsible because this has been given on a contractual basis. This is on a private contractors have been brought in. They have larger percentage of the stake. When you have roads that are built and they collapse, again the government is not responsible. So whose responsibility is this?
No, but you're raising some very good questions. I compliment you on that, because let's say in this case, whether it's 26% or whatever that case might be, I would only say that the political agencies need to introspect. If they can give full page ads and spend crores and crores in taking credit for building the infrastructure, then I hope they will come forward and also introspect on when this infrastructure goes wrong, whether airports collapsing or bridges collapsing and the rest of it. So I think somewhere we need, in this kind of a democracy, for it to remain healthy, we need accountability, and we need our political class to also understand that it's nothing wrong, just like everybody else is to be accountable, that they also need to get more accountable on this front. The country is growing. The country has a long path ahead. The country has the vision of becoming a Viksit Bharat. In those situations, we all need a change in mindset. And unless we realize that, if we are going to keep working with that old mindset and hoping that we are going to become a developed nation, I think there's a problem there. And I'm glad you're raising these issues, and I don't think it's about pointing fingers at anybody, and I'm the last person who can afford to do that. But the fact is that we need a new set of thinking of how this kind of public infrastructure has to be created. And what I mentioned earlier, I'm reiterating that this whole business of going with the lowest cost basis is never, I repeat, going to get you world-class infrastructure.
Okay, all right.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.